Hey everybody, it's good to be with you again today. Thank you so much for joining me in. And to those of you who watch regularly, thank you so much for feeding back to me and letting me know what's happening. It's wonderful, and I count it a great privilege to be able just to spend these few moments with you most days, if not every day if possible, but thank you. We're talking about what it means to be a servant. And Jesus is very specific about that. He talks about it, he preaches about it, he models it above all when he took his disciples aside that night and he washed their feet. The ultimate servant wasn't afraid to go low, because this is where the action all is, and this is the foundation of our faith. If we're miserable in life, or we're miserable in our spiritual journeys, it's because we probably haven't adjusted to the lifestyle of what it means to be a servant. But I want to say this today by way of being a servant. Servants are not afraid to fly closer to the flame. You see, we read about God being like a consuming fire. When you get close to him, it gets a little bit hot. And when God is a consuming fire, there's a lot of stuff that gets burnt off as we approach him. Now, some people don't like getting too close to God because it is a bit uncomfortable. And God is saying, no, don't go away. Come closer, come closer. Let me burn off from you all the stuff that should go, off the bad habits, the bad thinking patterns, all the different bad mentalities, all those sinful things that hold us down and stop us from being the people that God really wants for us to be. And he begins to burn away all of that stuff. Now, we read many different parallels of that. We see how gold is processed. They put it in a bowl, and then they heat it and they burn off all the rubbish, pour all the rubbish off the top, and what is left is that of pure gold. And God says, if you want to be pure gold in my eyes and in my hands, you've got to get rid of the junk. We fly closer to the flame of God's holiness. Now, it's interesting that in Isaiah chapter 6, we have a perfect example of that, where Isaiah was confronted face to face with the holiness of God. It didn't get bigger or better or worse in some cases than this, where he saw God as he had never seen him before. He saw him high and lifted up, and that his train filled the temple, and the angels were crying as they flew around the throne of God, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God of hosts. And as he was drawn closer to God, he realized how hot it was going to get. An angel flew to the altar at the front and took a burning coal and approached him. And he saw the burning coal, and he must have been fearful. What is he going to do with that burning coal? What is he going to do with that fire? And with that fire, the angel touched his lips. Wow, man, that's painful. And he touched his lips, and then Isaiah uttered the beautiful words, man, it's like I've been touched by the holiness of God. And I am a man of unclean lips. I come from people of unclean lips. And now he had been cleansed. Now the future was ready. Now he was ready to serve. And when God said, okay, now the cleansing has taken place, the fire has done its job. Anybody here want to serve me? And Isaiah was very quick to put his hand up in the air, and he said, here I am, send me. People, to be a servant of God, please, let's talk about this. You've got to get cleansed from the junk. You've got to get rid of that junk in your life. You've got to get rid of all that anger and bitterness and that we're all prone to carry for far longer than maybe we should. I know that the world is messed up, and the people in the world mess you up, that's for sure. And sometimes we respond not so well. Well, I don't. I know I need to be cleansed continually. But I'm hoping that maybe, just maybe, that you will draw closer to the flame of God's holiness. You know the things I'm talking about. I don't even have to be specific about them. You know what they are. And I hope and I pray that you'll be courageous enough to fly closer to the flame of God's holiness and allow him to burn that stuff away. Get rid of it. You don't need it. You'll never serve appropriately unless it's gone. So let's learn the lesson that Isaiah learned that day. Let's fly closer to the flame of his holiness. That'll be a good starting place. You have a great day. I'll be back just now. See you. Bye.